Hello, let's hope that my microphone is working. So it looks like it is. So this is another of my junk journals. I call them junk journals because they have found items in them. They're not all brand new pieces. A lot of the stuff I get at garage sales, flea markets, that kind of thing. And I also buy new papers. I try to use papers that are acid-free, glue that's acid-free, inks that are acid-free so that the book will last a long time. I put a lot of work into it. I want it to last for a while. And this book is about 5.5 by 4.5. The spine is about 1 3/4 inches. So it's a fairly good sized book, but it's, you know, I have fairly small hands, so I mean it's not that big. I'm using the same camera but a different lighting for this, so it's kind of washing out my colors a little bit. I'm hoping to be able to fix that when I edit this video. On this book, I have a closure made with elastic and just a silver button. I've tied that on there, put some glue. I have just trimmed the ends. It's pretty stretchy so that there's plenty of room for this book to expand. The button, if I can get my camera to focus, has a nice pattern on it. It is a metal button, so it's not going to snap or break as easy as a plastic button. It's just the closure that I made, you know, something handmade, just like the book. The book is hardbound. It's got a hardcover on all 3 sides. It is hand-stitched signatures, but I've covered up the stitching on this one because it didn't look as nice as I wanted it to. I think because of the small size, maybe I put the stitches kind of close. I don't know. It just didn't look right to me, and I kind of felt like it's so chunky that it needed some extra support on the spine. So I've added this extra piece of chipboard with some embossing on it that I did on a Sizzix. I did some alcohol ink on it. I did some flat-sided pearls, and I put brads in here. There's some lace. It's cloth lace on the edges. At the top, I punched a hole in the cardstock and tied some ribbon in there. I added some strands of bling. It is held together by a claw clasp so that you can remove that if you want to. There are 4 strands. Let's see if I can show them to you separately. This strand has metal black roses, a silver bead. It's hollow inside. It's some sort of metal, but I'm not sure what. It feels pretty sturdy. I don't think it's going to bend or anything. There's some glass beads on here from a necklace. This is a pink that sort of goes with the motif. They're faceted beads. Some are clear, some are pink. There's some silver on there. This is a black chain that came with these black roses, and I've just left 1 single black rose on the end. Those are really hard to see the detail, but they're metal, they're pretty heavy. And some more of the pink and clear faceted beads. So there are 4 strands of beads on here and bling. Then I've got a piece of this brown ribbon that goes really nice with the design. On the front, I've glued on fabric roses that I've had for probably 20 years. I cut them off of a little stem of a bouquet of roses, glued them on, put some flat back pearls, different kinds of paper. These are Scrabble tiles that I've glued on to the cover, and I've used alcohol ink on them to kind of give them an aged look. On the back, I have this pretty paper. It is from, let me find my paper pack. It is from Keller Kurtz and Company. I bought this at Hobby Lobby. It's all vintage paper, sort of a fashion motif, Paris fashion motif. So that's mostly what I used in this booklet. Can you see that? That's a cute little bird. A nice watch, a rose, a pretty motif. So let's open her up. On the inside, I have some rose gold washi tape. Here's a paper clip that I made. It says Palais de Lys, a pair of pink shoes, some pink fabric roses, some flat back pearls. This is a rubber or plastic covered paper clip. I like those with a doily. It's just a little thing I made, so it's handmade. This is a little card that I stamped with a hand-carved stamp. I carved it out of one of those big, huge erasers that you can buy at Dollar Tree. I use Stays On ink. This is a stamp that I pressed into foam on and stamped on there. Some washi tape. It's the same on the back. And these, I don't know what they're called, but I call it like a tea tag because it resembles a tea bag with that little paper tag at the top of the string. It's a little piece of cardstock paper that I bought, I don't know, years and years ago. I don't know what paper pack it came from. Some little flat back pearls, and I've stamped a butterfly on the back. That fits into this. There's more of that paper with the fashion on it. And this just clips in here. On most of this, I've taped the pockets, so if you're opposed to tape, you know, it's easier for me to tape these on than to glue them on. I have arthritis. The tape is easier for me to wrangle than squeezing a bottle of glue. Almost every page in this has an end pocket. I don't know if you can see that. And most of this is paper and not cardstock. Some of the pockets are cardstock and then this is paper. So it is a little delicate. It is hand sewn. I did a lot of belly bands. Like I said, almost every one of the ends is a pocket. There's a place to write, a belly band. I did some tea staining. I was going to use coffee, but then I remembered that a lot of people don't like the smell of coffee, and the tea does not leave behind a strong odor. So, you know, most people can handle the smell of tea, but coffee for some reason is a little bit acrid, I guess, or acidic smelling, and so I went with tea instead of coffee. This is a piece of lace, some flat back pearls that I've glued onto some of that paper that I cut out and made a tag out of. It is double-sided printed. I glued two pieces together to make it a good thick cardstock thickness with some washi tape. It fits into this little pocket here. And again, almost all of these are pockets on the end. So there's plenty of tuck spots. I did a lot of these little fold outs. Tried to distress them. Did some belly bands. Here's another paper clip. It has a button glued on. It's just a very simple little paper clip. Some more of those poppies stamped on with the tea. And I wanted it to look like a coffee stain, but it is actually tea. Again, I know a lot of people don't like the smell of coffee, and that does tend to linger on paper. Here's another tuck spot. This is cardstock glued together with some of the paper from the paper pack, the Keller Kurtz. I've punched it, put a tea tag on it with a stamp on the back, but this is also a pocket to tuck a little secret something into. That just slips down in here, or it can even go into the side pocket. And there are tuck spaces everywhere in here. This one has a lot of tags. This one has a button on the end, so you have to be careful. Like I said, some of this is fragile. This is another piece of cardstock that I've glued some of the paper on, and I did a little cutout of some cardstock paper with a little stamp on it, a butterfly, little T-tag design, and this has a belly band in the back with some washi tape. You have to lift that belly band up to get that button underneath there. Some more tuck spots, more envelopes type tuck spots on the edges, more tea staining, more writing space, another tag. I glued on some fabric, roses, and did it double-sided. Very thick tags. Here's a nice tag. Took some of that paper, I did some of another paper pack around it as a border, did some stamping on it, thinking of you, did some of the nice, I don't know, it's glittery, almost sequined ribbon from Dollar Tree, but it's not sequined, so it doesn't come apart. There's some washi tape, some stamping, more tuck spots, some more stamping. I did some distress ink, flowers in the background to kind of make it look faded. Did Thinking of You. This would be a great book to take like on a girls' weekend, you know, go out with your girlfriends and have a good time and take some photos and selfies and put in there. Go shopping, maybe go to New York City or Paris or someplace and buy some really beautiful things. Some more splattered tea. Another smaller tuck spot in case you have a smaller note that you don't want to get lost in one of these big side pockets. Another paper clip. It's just got a fabric rose on it. I cut it in a point shape and just kind of use some of that cardstock. Another writing space. And this just kind of holds that together. Some tuck spots. Okay, and this is something different. This is a pretty sturdy page. You can see how thick it is here. This is a photo frame. I used a thick piece of chipboard. I covered it in fabric and washi tape and glued it on with some nice trim at the top. That just kind of allows you to stick your finger there and separate it so you can get your picture in. Another tag. It's got some little plastic buttons and some lace. I folded the lace over because it's easier to get in the pocket. Some more flat-sided pearls. Sewing motif. I did some stamping. More pretty paper tuck spots. Another tag. I really like the vintage clothing motif in that paper pack. Did stamping on it again, thinking of you, some rose gold paper, washi tape. Did some on the back. And this is something unique to this book that you're probably not going to find in some of the other journals online. And you probably will soon, but I love to collect old photographs because I feel sad for the people in them because the image was lost. It's floating around in a flea market or an antique shop. It's not at home in an old, aged photo album that's much loved, that's tucked away on the top shelf of a closet, you know, in a fireproof box. You know, it's a lost memory. So I found this beautiful photo of this woman. She has just a sparkling smile. So I added some flat-backed pearls to the actual photograph. This is the actual photograph. It is not a reproduction of it. I did not copy it, scan it, and print it or anything. That is the original photograph. I've glued it into the original photo sleeve that it came in. You know, you used to get these big chipboard, pretty printed, embossed photo cards that the pictures came in, because a photograph wasn't like it is today. Not everyone had a camera. Not everyone knew how to use a camera. when you got your photograph taken, it was like maybe a special occasion once a year or something. So this could have been an engagement photo. It could have been a pre-wedding photo. It could have been, you know, her birthday photo, graduation photo. It could have been just about anything. So they put them in really nice presentations. This is not the entire thing. It was a huge thing. So I just cut it down so that it will fit in this book, but I left all of this nice printing and embossing. It's actually textured. I added the rhinestones. I cut off the end of it where it said what studio it was. It was Hollywood Studio. So this is the actual printing from the photographer. This I stuck on. It's a little, I don't know, it's a little clock. It just symbolizes time and memories. Did not come with the photograph. On the back, I've sealed this so that you cannot remove the photograph. And I know if that irks some people, but I meant for it to stay in here forever. So I stamped thinking of you on the back, stamped a poppy, and I've kind of stamped it all over. And if you, I don't know if you can see the texture. This is actually embossed. It has a nice texture. It has a little bit of a sheen to it. It's just very high quality chipboard with a very beautiful picture. You get that with this. It does not fit well into any of the tuck spots, so it just kind of sits in here. You can use it as your bookmark. Some more stained paper, some more writing space, some more stamps, tuck spaces, some more tags, and this is also a pocket to stick a little secret something into, a little memory. More pretty paper. There's plenty of room in here for you to tuck just about anything. More pretty paper and tuck spots. More tags. This is also a little envelope. It is cardstock, like all of the others. It's got a print on top of a gold foil print. Make it look kind of faded. I did just the print of the flowers in the flower pot from before. More writing space. Another paper clip. It's got buttons and a little fabric rose. It's got a sewing motif. Another fold out. And another slender end tuck spot for smaller things. I've stamped throughout the word bloom and things like that. I love the butterfly stamp, so I kind of stamp it off center. I don't like things perfect. I like things to free flow. So if you're looking for everything to be perfect, you're probably not going to like my journals. I want them to look handmade. I want them to have imperfections, because imperfections, they just make things special. There is some more tuck spots. This is the back cover, another tuck spot. This was a nice little, just a little card that I made out of some of the paper and some cardstock, some wrapping paper with a stamp on top, some lace glued on, and a little tag, T-tag. This folds up so it fits in there nicely. She's just very pretty. I don't know if you saw her well. Nice sturdy little tag. Let's tuck that photograph of that beautiful woman. I feel so sad that that was lost. Let's tuck all of the little T-tags back inside. And you can see how thick and chunky this thing is. It is very, very chunky. It still has plenty of room to tuck things in, and I just kind of felt like I wanted to add a lot of stuff to it, even though I know that you're going to want to add your own things. So I may have stuffed it too much, I don't know, but less might have been more. but I really like everything that I put in it. I worked on it for a long time, and like I said in a previous video, I don't do this to make money. I'm not opening an official shop, you know, to make, you know, an income or anything like that. I make these things because I enjoy it. I have arthritis in my hands, and so this helps to keep my fingers limber, and it keeps me aware of the progress of my arthritis. You know, how much can I do today? What kind of punching can I do? What kind of stamping can I do? So, I mean, I do these for my own pleasure, but I am willing to share these. So, you know, I don't need that many journals to write in. I have plenty. So, I'm hoping this will find a good home, especially with that gorgeous photograph in it. And I just have to show you again. She's just beautiful. And it's just so sad that her photograph was lost. So I hope that somebody will claim her. Give her a name. Give her a story. You know, you can even write it in here. And then this little closure is an elastic that just fits up here. And I just turn the button over and I fit it here. So there we go. It's just a pretty little book. It fits in my hand. Probably take both hands so you can kind of see the size. But I'm going to post this on eBay. I hope you like it. I hope somebody wants it. So thank you for watching.